Good evening, Vile Community, YouTube, anybody else who's checking in. Hi, hope everybody's doing really well out there. Had a great Christmas, enjoyed the festivities. My God, doesn't it come and go quickly? Yeah, so obviously it's been a good couple of weeks or more since I've done a video. Had quite a lot going on with the family, as per usual, not least my brother-in-law's funeral on the 16th. So yeah, obviously this Christmas's celebrations have been, let's say, rather subdued compared to obviously other years. Yeah. So, yeah, my sister, bless her, she braved it all pretty well, or at least outwardly anyway. And she did a meal which was fantastic, and it was great to spend time with the family. They actually came to my mum's on Boxing Day, so reciprocated, and yeah, wonderful. Spent some time with my brother and my son, and yeah, we had a bit of a jam on the guitars and played some music, a few games, played some cards, and it was really nice. So yeah, I hope everybody else had a great time too. Um, yeah, so I've got a few things to show, not an awful lot. Haven't really bought an awful lot since my last update. But I did get this. I'll start with this actually. This was a Christmas present from my brother. This is Dave Grohl, the storyteller. So this is autobiography about Dave Grohl, obviously, that he released this year, which yeah, will be interesting read. I don't know an awful lot about Dave Grohl, other than obviously he was the drummer of Nirvana, who I've always admired and enjoyed their work. Probably less so with the Foo Fighters, albeit I am familiar with some of their work. But yeah, I've seen him interviewed. He's an interesting character, and I'm sure he's got a lot of anecdotes and stories. And it's always interesting to read people's backstories. So yeah, looking forward to diving into that. Okay, I'll sort of go through these records in chronological order, more or less. So this was Amazon Marketplace purchase that I picked up a few weeks ago now. Actually, didn't show it in my last catch-up video. So this is another one for my Godly and Cream collection. This is their 1981 album Ismism. So I've never had this. I had heard it. A friend of mine had this, and obviously I was aware of the singles. You've got Under Your Thumb and Wedding Bells, of course. But yeah, really interesting record. Still going out experimenting, albeit they're getting a little bit more sort of pop orientated. Again, sort of, I guess they've gone kind of full circle since their 10cc days. Ends with a interesting track called The Party, which is quite full of their kind of idiosyncratic, crazy sort of humor and so on. But yeah, decent album. This is I don't think it's a first press, it's a repress, because the first one was came on a sort of die cut cover with the ismism sort of cut out, little punch holes. That's on Polydor. And yeah, this was pretty pretty good pickup actually for a number of reasons. I actually ordered the as it was listed as the original die cut cover, which is white, and then obviously you can kind of see the I think the black inner sleeve behind it. Unfortunately, I was sent the wrong one, and I contacted the seller, and he came back to me after a few days, incredibly gracious, apologized profusely, and actually told me that his mother had passed away from COVID. So just, I mean, not only did he refund my money, but he obviously let me keep the album for nothing, which was just going over and above and beyond. And yeah, just incredible, really, that you know, the generosity of spirit of some people. You know, incredible. So yeah, that was quite humbling, actually, to be fair. So my heart obviously went out to him and his family, and I actually wrote him quite a big note back, emailed him back, and thanked him, and obviously wished him paid him my condolences and wished him all the best. So yeah, somebody else that's not had a great year either. Yeah, but there you go. So okay, this is so onto the online finds, and these are all jazz records now. So for anybody who's not interested in jazz, you can switch off now. So but yeah, I've been trying to build up or get hold of some British jazz since particularly getting into Ian Carr and Don Rendell, particularly the sort of 60s output. And a lot of those records, the originals, are very difficult, of course, to come by. And flicking through Amazon, and just found this as a compilation. This is Journeys in Modern Jazz. This is specifically for Britain. So I would imagine that there's a series of these for various other genres, and so on. But this is the only one that I was aware of that I've seen. So this covers the time period of 1965 to 1972. So yeah, some names I was familiar with, ones I was looking to investigate, but I didn't have anything by. So Ken Wheeler, Johnny Dankworth, got Don Rendell Quintet, John Sermon, Michael Garrick Sextet, who've heard a lot of people talk about quite favourably. For me, the real killer side is the fourth side of this. This is a double LP, 2 LP set. And you got the wonderful Dick Morrissey Quartet Storm Warning, and then this fantastic, really transcendent and just out there track by Mick Taylor Quartet called To Segovia, which is just absolutely just astonishingly good. Really, really, really wonderful stuff. This is quite a nice gatefold on this. So you've got obviously loads of press clippings from I guess jazz publications, NME, etc. From the day, and even a little ad there for David Bowie. Also on the T-Rex or Tyrannosaurus Rex tour, as they were called there. So that's nice to have that little advert for Pink Floyd, amongst other artists as well. Really, really interesting. Lots to look at there. The vinyl is just a black vinyl with the rose on the label replicating the front cover of the album. And sort of one of the best things of all, it's got this wonderful 16-page booklet that comes with it, and just advertising a few classic albums there. So you've got Windmill, Tilter, Story of Don Quixote, Spacewalk, Don Rendell, New Jazz Orchestra, Tubby Hayes as well. But yeah, this goes into a lot of detail, just with the backstory of a lot of the music. The write-up is actually by Don Rendell himself. He sadly passed away in 2015. But yeah, each track gives a whole breakdown of a sort of description of the song, who's playing on it, the inspiration behind it, story, a little bit of story on the artist as well. Yeah, so fabulous, really, really good set. I think it was about £20, so not too bad at all. Really pleased to get that. Following on from that, Ben actually told me, because he asked me he was interested in that compilation, because I put a picture of it on Facebook, and he asked me for the track listing. So I sent him the track listing because he wanted to check that out prior to buying it, and some of it he was unfamiliar with himself. So, but he did recommend this one in particular. And I streamed it, and there was actually a track off this album actually on that compilation. But when he told me about the title track, I played it and immediately loved it. So this is the New Jazz Orchestra, and this is Le Déjeuner sur l'herbe. I think my French pronunciation is up to snuff there. Yeah, and it is absolutely beautiful. The lead track, kind of downbeat but not melancholic, very atmospheric, just really, really, really wonderful. Just yeah, some of it reminding me a little bit of Air almost, kind of thing. The French electronic group. I'm wondering if they kind of listened to maybe some of this or used it as an influence. I think this is an extremely influential record, and yeah, just one of those kind of classic albums from the genre, which I guess you've got to have if you're looking to explore it. Which I certainly am at the moment. So yeah, really looking forward to diving deeper into that one. Okay, and then the last two were a couple that I've seen people buying. I kind of ummed and ahed about them, but I made that mistake with the Tone Poets series, and by the time I'd gone to order them, they were all but sold out. So I thought I'd better get my skates on and get a couple of copies of these. These two are by the same artist, and they're actually on the Acoustic Sound series, part of the Impulse 60 anniversary, I believe. So this first one is Charles Mingus, and this is Mingus. Is that Mingus 4 times, I think? Wonderful, wonderful presentation of these. This record. So I got that one, and I also picked up this one, which is the Black Saint and the Sinner Lady. I believe both of these were recorded in 1963. Yeah, I hadn't heard either of these prior to buying them. I'd got Mingus but that was the only Charles Mingus album that I'd had up till now. Yeah, I'd heard so many people talk about both of these, in particular this one, so I just thought I must grab them while I can, and I'm so glad that I did. Loads of information on the gatefold. I guess this is replicating them as they appeared when they originally came out. Fantastic quality tip-on jackets. So yeah, obviously usual 180. I would imagine it's 180 gram, is it, or 200 gram? Feels a little bit heavier than this. It might be 200 gram. I don't know. Again, replicating the original Impulse labels. Yeah, probably out the two, I would say that this one is probably the most accessible. In terms of sort of musicality, the music's a bit easier to get your head around. But they're both equally good, quite deep in terms of, and obviously extremely complex in terms of the music within. It's impossible for me to get it in one sitting. I've played them both through once. This one, the first side of this is it just took my head off when I played this, and I didn't quite know how to make of it. There's quite a lot of sort of dissonance there, but there's just, if you get through some of the dissonance, there's just amazing musicality there as well. And yeah, it's challenging, and but you know, this is one of the reasons why I'm starting to get into jazz more, because it just offers something that a lot of rock and regular kind of other genres of music don't offer. You know, you just don't know what to expect. You can't predict where it's going, so it's endlessly interesting. And each time you play records like this, like others that I've played over and over, and each time you're hearing something different. So yeah, I just think it just, you know, I mean, both of these were quite expensive. They were sort of 35 quid a piece, but just fantastic records that will just never date. You know, I think music like this will just survive forever, and will just you know, just give it endless enjoyment. And yeah, just really delighted to have those and add them to the collection. Okay, guys, so I'm going to sign off now. Hope again that you're all looking forward to having a great new year. I hope to maybe do another video before the end of the year, and just sort of like maybe a bit of a sort of best of sort of retrospective of some of my highlights, stuff that you know, favorite finds and so on. I don't know. Don't hold me to it, but you never know. Hopefully I will get that in. Yeah, I actually bumped into our good friend John Downing yesterday, aka 6-inch Pianist, who was out walking with his wife and son, and my mother and I were walking around the corner and very nearly bumped into them, quite literally. And so yeah, we're probably going to go out for a beer on New Year's Day, which will be nice, and have a catch up with John. So really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, guys, hope you all are keeping well, keeping out of the way of COVID, and getting your jabs. And yeah, if I don't see you beforehand, then obviously all have a fantastic, safe, and healthy new year. And I certainly hope that it's going to be a better one for me and our family anyway. So here's hoping. All right, guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll speak soon. Cheers, all the best. Bye-bye.